Oh my goodness, it's noon here on the East Coast in Ventnor, New Jersey, and this is news that you can use with YAA with your hosts, Ray and Ray and Phil. I'll be a son of a gun.
Where is he? Where
Uh,
I'm Zach, gray hair. Did you color it? What happened?
Gray hair and well groomed, I might add.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, which is more than I can say for some of the times that I sat next to my son doing these shows. Zach is, just so everybody knows, Zach is well, they're moving offices today. We're still going to be, or he's still going to be in downtown Bethesda, just in a slightly different office, and then it's off to New York. So he had to bail on us today, and Phil was gracious enough. Phil, being one of our auto advocates and coaches at YAA at joinyaa.com, was kind enough and gracious enough to agree to do this nonsense with me today.
I'm happy to be here with you, Ray.
Well, I'm glad somebody is. I know Phil and we discussed a number of topics that we thought that we would like to go over today. And so Zach has, I believe, taught me how to share my screen. So as we talk about these various articles
Fantastic.
that we found, you might actually be able to see them, everybody. I won't be able to see you all, but my understanding is you'll be able to see me. So as Zach likes to say, give me a moment here and let me share my screen and see what we can come up with. I'm supposed to click on that. I'm supposed to click on share. I'm supposed to hit this. And then I believe everybody out there can see this. This is an article from Jalopnik. Honda thinks EVs will kill mega dealerships. Honda predicts electric vehicles and online ordering will make dealers smaller and more focused with less inventory languishing on the lots. Phil, did you get a chance to read this?
I did. You know, I just want to point out that picture there.
Yes.
Of how Honda is now presenting this is almost kind of like a Carvana setup. The cars are delivered. You go there for pickup, right? And that's what Honda is trying to do here, essentially, right? They're trying to consolidate their presence with the buildings, and you're going to have a center that is just going to deliver the cars and make it a point for service.
And the thing that scares me, if I may, and every manufacturer we know has admitted that they're willing to commit billions upon billions upon billions of dollars to the EV world. EVs don't need the same level of service that ICE vehicles do. So I understand that the dealership footprint can shrink. But how is the dealership supposed to make money after they've made a multi-million-dollar investment, even in a smaller facility?
Well, that's a great question, because isn't in a typical dealership, the service center is the main revenue source for the dealership, correct?
Yes.
But I mean, you're right. Like, where are they going to be able to generate revenue on the service side to keep it going?
I mean, if just because EVs are heavier than ICE vehicles, and you're going to blow through tires more frequently, or you might need to get the wheel alignment done more frequently, are you going to take it to your dealer, or are you going to take it to a tire store?
Well, that's a great question, because we're so used to taking them. Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to the tire store. They're going to abandon the dealer altogether.
I mean, I feel that is the direction of what the automakers are now trying to do, right? They're wanting to reduce their dealer footprint, and essentially really just have a spot to have the cars delivered. But I mean, you're right, on the electric, or on the EV side, the maintenance side is going to be very light, and if anything to really be done, to have to take the car to the dealership for.
Yeah, I mean, I get what everybody's trying to do, and maybe just maybe I need to say that Zach is onto something when he thinks this transition is going to happen sooner rather than the later that I think it's going to happen.
Now,
Um,
hopefully he's seeing this, because when he gets back on the show on Thursday, then he can prop himself up and say, "Hey, look, Dad, see."
sure, and I'll fight with them then. But but until then, I mean, so here's what Honda's thinking. They basically want people to be able to order the car online and have it delivered to their local delivery center, where
Yep.
the customer will just go in and pick up the car. Um, Similar to what obviously Tesla and Rivian want to do, similar to
Yep.
what Ford's hoping to do with Model E. Um,
Correct.
I guess ultimately we will see it happen. I can't say exactly when, but it seems to be. Oh my God, I can see you again, Phil. It
Yeah.
seems
Hey.
it it seems to be that maybe the future is going to happen faster than I ever envisioned.
I think I agree. And I I think there needs to be a greater transitionary period of, like, to go straight to EVs and just push this onto the market. I think is kind of quick, because obviously we need the infrastructure in
Hmm.
in place for all this, right?
Yes,
And in my mind, I see it better to be positioned to go into pushing hybrids altogether,
yes,
and then transition into an EV while we're putting an infrastructure in place.
and
And
I was going to say you and I had a conversation prior to the show where we know that millennials like to shop and buy online, and ultimately they're going to be the ones that are buying the vast majority of EVs.
mhm,
But my feeling was that until millennials are in power, political power, whatever type of power, it's not going to happen until that point because, well, baby boomers are still in power for the most part. Look at the age
correct.
of some of our senators and some of
Yes,
the Congress people, and so until you get younger people in a position to make these decisions as to how everything's going to flow, I think it that's what's holding it back, and many of us older folks are thankful for that.
I you know I totally agree, and I think it's this thing that we they don't want to change. We don't want to move forward in any drastic way. We like things the way that they are. It's very profitable to us. We live a very comfortable life with what we've got going, and no one wants it to change,
Uh, you know,
because
hey, it all worked well up until a pandemic.
it did. It worked very well.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, people are like, well, now I'm forced to buy a car online and order a car online. And then, well, now we just got to be patient and wait for the car to come in. But, that's what we're going to.
and I get it to a certain degree, but it's these vehicles are the second most expensive purchase people are going to make in their lives. And and I don't care how good this stuff is. How do you just do that online? How do you just say I'm going to commit to spending 75, 80, $100,000 online? I don't know, without actually driving the damn thing to make sure you like it.
I, you know, I don't know about everyone else, but I like to go touch, feel, like to put my hands on it, like to, uh, I want to get emotionally tied to it. And
Exactly.
I want that. Especially, like, as you said, when you're spending that kind of money. What's the average cost of a new car today? What are we, like,
The
around
average
45?
Yeah, the average transaction price is over $46,000.
It's absolutely crazy, and we know that's going to go up.
Yes,
It's just on the cost of EVs.
And here's the odd thing. I mean, back in 1977, when I got into the retail automobile business, one of the first things I was taught by a wise car guy, and there are some, not many, but some, okay? And the wise car guy said, the feel of the wheel seals the deal. In other words, you have to drive the vehicle. Well, we had cars when I first started, they were $1,800 new, okay? It's getting to the point where you can't fill your car with gas for $1,800.
True.
So if the price is going to be what the price is, people have to drive them, touch them, feel them, fall in love with it, get emotionally attached and involved with it.
Yes, I mean, especially if it's going to be a long-term purchase, right?
Yes,
and you got to live with it. And I see. I mean, it's going to be it's a difficult transition to just order something online and without really knowing. I don't know. I don't see it. It's going to be a struggle for me to do something like that. Like, I mean, that's why when I just got my Mustang, I didn't order it. I did find it on the dealership slot because I was able to go see it, touch it, and all of that. And it makes it for a better experience, obviously.
I don't know. Me personally, I'm not ready to hit the buy it now button.
I'm not quite there.
Yeah,
either.
That's just me. Now, I thought since this was Honda's new thing, that there was something interesting that came out about Acura the other day. Let me share my screen one more time. Let's see if I can do this, folks.
You can do it.
Well, I'm hopeful. The Acura, the 2023 Acura Integra is to be Acura's last gasoline-powered new vehicle.
Yep.
Which indicates that everything that Honda sees as the future, well, they're transitioning that future into their Acura division, their high-end division.
Yep.
Do you think, as this being the last of the gas-powered Acuras, and the Integra is a throwback to the original Integra,
it is, yeah,
which was a great car, by the way. Do you think that will end up making this version of the Integra a more valuable commodity moving forward?
I think it will. There's still many people that love an internal combustion engine vehicle, and will always have a love for it. This is probably something that will appreciate in value over time. I mean, well, most cars are appreciating now anyway. I mean,
Yes.
Should I go buy a car and just invest in a vehicle? I mean, unheard of, right? But maybe this might be one to do it. Just like you and I talked about with the Mustang. Those muscle cars are going to go away. All those ice, it's going to go away, and there's going to be a need, or not I guess not necessarily need, but a want to be able to have a throwback to that, right?
Exactly.
And to be like, there's some value to that, and there's going to be a want, and I think Acura is doing it right here. I mean, the Integra is a well-known name for the brand.
Yes.
And I think it's a good position for this type of vehicle.
I was with Acura when they transitioned from the Integra to the RSX, and the RSX never had the same following as the Integra.
Name is everything. I mean, look at the Escalade.
Yes. And one of the things that I like best about what Acura is doing with the new Integra is in their top of the line A-Spec package. It'll be available with a 6-speed manual transmission. Not that there's many millennials out there that can actually drive a 6-speed manual transmission.
Talk to them about heel and toe. Ask them what that's all about. They'll be like, huh?
Well, my son, God bless him, I love him, he can't drive a stick. My daughter, my daughter, God bless her, she can't drive a stick. When I grew up, everybody had to learn how to drive a stick. So I think the Integra is going to be a great throwback model. Relatively inexpensive for what it's going to be. I mean, the top of the line
Yeah, I
one's
see
going to
that.
be it's going to be under $37,000,
Hmm.
and it makes a nice entry point to move people from Honda into an Acura, and then keep them into Hondas and Acuras moving forward for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
Which I think is what the plan is with something like that. Um,
Sure.
but it it just indicates that Acura is going to be going full electric as well. Um, God, I I don't
Just
know.
not even a transition. Not even like let's throw a couple hybrids. No, no, just
No,
straight
no.
electric.
Yeah, we're done with we're going to be done with gas powered vehicles. Let me
I,
ask
you
you a
know,
question, Phil.
yeah.
We spoke about a couple things prior to the show. Do you want to talk about what GM sees as their fleet buyers buying in the future, or would you prefer to go to a success story that we have from the community?
Let's talk about Chuck and his success story in Florida.
Well, this is going to require me to read, so we're going to find out if I paid any
Let's.
attention in school when I was younger, and I'm not sure that I did. But I'll pull up the success story. This is MSRP deal on a 2022 GV80 Prestige and some Florida dealerships to recommend. Um, do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
I can read it.
Okay.
All right. Patience and persistence have finally paid off, but it was a long slog. Many thanks and special shout out to Justice, who I worked with privately via email after signing up on YAA as a premium member. He really helped me out with the process of buying my retirement dream car without getting robbed by the notorious Florida dealerships. And that is true.
It
That is
is.
true.
Yes,
And shout out to Justice. I mean, good job helping him out with this, man.
absolutely.
Um, Here's my story, and although it's a bit long, it's worth the read if you're in the market for a Genesis Hyundai or even Ford cars, trucks in Florida, which may be available in some other areas as well as this automotive group. You can actually have a pleasurable dealership transaction, no kidding, in Florida, right?
Yes.
The pandemic gave me a lot of time to research exactly what I wanted and how to get it for the right price in these very challenging times, and wanted to share how watching Ray and Zach's videos and working the system finally got me there. I'm nearing retirement from a job that kept me on the road most of the time in Florida and the South, where I put
Wow.
316,000 miles on his last ride. A 2010 FX35, and it was a great car, by the way. I wanted to get a car that I wouldn't use for work after getting off the road and really treat myself. So after a ton of research, I decided on the Genesis GV80 top trim 3.5 T Prestige. Then I got educated really quick on what the car market had evolved into since my last purchase, which was utterly depressing. Yeah, I mean, all this is, it's like a sucker punch.
Yes.
There are a few Hyundai Genesis dealers located within an hour or so. Tried them first only to find a lack of inventory with huge markups, along with those pesky non-negotiable add-ons that on average added $7,000 to $10,000 over MSRP. That is crazy.
That's
Which I was not
Florida.
prepared. It is. It is
Yes.
wild, wild Florida. Which I was not prepared to do. So I walked out of each and started looking further. Bunch of arrogant dealers using those old school tactics that I detest. I then started using the Genesis inventory search, which has a 200-mile radius that led me to other possibilities. Instead of driving them, I would learn by calling, email, texting them. But things weren't any better, and I actually found even worse ones in Southwest Florida, where some were 15 to 20,000 over sticker. I got even more bummed. I mean, I would too. I probably would
Yeah.
just throw the towel in.
Yes.
Uh, the Genesis search engine only shows vehicles that have actually arrived at dealers. So when I saw my build pop up at Genesis of Central Florida, I contacted them right away. From the moment I started working with my sales rep, Tony Rivers, I knew this was going to be different. He communicated as one should expect, with honesty and transparency, which is awesome. No big delays or BS, upfront pricing, and no dealer fees or forced add-ons. Although, is this in a different dimension? I mean, this is a dealership in Florida.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Although the one I had found online was actually spoken for, I went ahead and put a $500 refundable deposit on the next allocated one in my build, but then had to wait and wait and wait as the ETA kept getting pushed due to supply and demand issues, and then later related to the chip shortage. This went on from early January to just now. I got the call a week ago. Then my car had finally arrived. I made the 2-hour trip to find a fresh 4-year-old Hyundai dealership that also handles Genesis. I kept waiting for some negative surprise that would come up during the closing process, but it never happened. I got my car for MSRP with $1,000 markup for this high demand car, as with most other models, but no dealer fees. So basically wash, and then just taxes, tags, and title. With $1,000 trade equity. Now, mind you, he had 316,000 miles on that car, and they still gave him $1,000. So in my eyes, I look at this, he's correct. This is an MSRP deal, right? Because
Exactly.
you would have never gotten that for, yeah. Anyway.
Oh my God! I would have appraised that car for $5. And that's 316,000 miles on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he definitely, I mean, yep, it's a definite MSRP deal. Okay,
Yeah.
so, and with $1,000 trade in on my old SUV, it was a deal, and I was happy to get done, and drove back home enjoying the hell out of it. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Since I pay cash, I didn't even meet with the F&I people. That's awesome, as my sales rep was able to complete all the paperwork on the tablet. The only question was if I wanted extended warranties, which I politely declined, and that was that. Done. Wow. Really?
Yeah.
This is still a Ford dealer. So if you're in the market for a Genesis Hyundai or Ford product and you live near Florida, I can highly recommend these dealerships, which is the same place located in Clearmont, Florida, just off the turnpike near Orlando. A Genesis standalone store is planned right next door in the coming year. They're part of the Mullinex Automotive Group with a 52-year history of no haggle car buying. Here's they have the Ford site as well. They may have other brands at other locations around the country offering the same experience. I've noticed that many dealers are now showing in-transit vehicles in their inventory. Yep, we know all about that. Searches so that prospective buyers can shop and reserve incoming allotments like I did. Unfortunately, this seems to be the way to purchase specific new cars these days to get what you want. As cars on lots, even if available, don't last very long. Just have the patience and do your homework. That is what everyone needs. You got to have patience. You got to have persistence.
Exactly.
Thanks again, Ray, Zach, Kimberly, and especially Justice. And PS 2023 models now arriving, and my exact same build now has a $2,600 bump in MSRP and still does not have the enhanced HDA due to the chip shortage.
Yep.
Glad I didn't wait. Wow.
Yes, exactly. And once again, that is a testament to our team. You're a big part of that team. Mario's a big part of the team, obviously. Yep. Justice and Kimberly, where as an organization, I don't know that there's anybody within our framework of who works here that doesn't try to do the best they possibly can on behalf of our viewers, of our members, of our community members, walking people through how to approach a deal, encouraging them to keep searching for the right dealer because they are out there now.
And don't forget, we have crowdsourcing for all these dealership reviews that you can go on and look to find the closest dealer near you, or ones that might be fair, or ones to stay away from.
Yes. And it's a testament to the team here, but it's a testament to a customer who was willing to put in the time. Much like when Justin on our team bought his Ioniq 5 and the work that he had to go through to find that dealer in Long Island, all the way from from West Virginia.
Yeah,
It is doable. It just takes a commitment to spend the time to get it done. So
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
a great job, Chuck, for being out there, going through all that, making the drive, and really got himself a hell of a deal because
He did.
literally that Infinity with 316,000 miles on it.
That was worth nothing. I
Exactly.
mean, it's just not worth. I mean, it's great that it lasted that long,
Yes.
and it's a testament to show that if cars are maintained, they can
Th-
actually go the long haul.
yes, they can. But it's not like that dealership can do something. I mean, they could take that car to the sale and probably lose money on it.
I'm sure. What with the cost of having to send it to the auction
Yes.
and fees and all that, that
Yeah.
would be losing. Yeah, I would donate it.
Yeah. He might have been better off getting that tax write-off. I don't know. Um, I wanted to share one last item with everybody. We're coming up on 20. We're a little over 26 minutes into the show. And there was something that caught my attention today. I'm going to share my screen one more time if I remember how to do that. My son is going to be so damn proud of me.
He is.
Truth be told, Phil, I'm so damn proud of me. I think this falls into the category of really, you've got to be kidding me.
Agreed.
VW has sold 47 Arteons in the United States so far this year. Okay, great looking vehicle, but apparently
really is.
but apparently nobody wants one. And I'm guessing there's more than 47 on dealers' lots. I'm just guessing.
So are we saying? Are you saying that someone could go find one of these if they really want it and get a heck of a deal
Um, I would
if they're
think
just sitting there?
I certainly would think so, because this is not an inexpensive vehicle,
Sure. Sure.
and the floor plan costs on it would probably add up in a hurry.
Hmm.
And if we were to look up day supply by model, this
Hmm.
could be one of the things where there might be 300 of them in the country, and it could equate to like a 900-day supply because
Yeah. Right.
nobody's buying them.
Right.
But it really is a nice vehicle.
When I looked at it, I'm like that. It really is. I
Yes.
People don't want cars now, right? They want the SUVs, they want the crossovers, and I'm still that guy that I'm happy to pick up a car. I don't have to have a crossover. I'm
Um,
fine with it.
my favorite type
But
of car is a sports wagon, which is why I drive a Clubman.
I like those.
Yeah,
I do like those.
if I couldn't get that, when BMW made like the 3 Series wagon and the 5 Series wagon, hell, I remember back in the day when Volvo made the P1800, which was
Hmm.
so far ahead of its time for what it was. That heck, I think the best car or the most interesting car that Acura ever made was the TSX sports wagon
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah.
that didn't sell very well. But apparently the Arteon is similar in respect to the old Acura ZDX in that
Hmm.
somebody signed off on it and nobody did any research to see if, well,
To make sure that it was going to work well in the market.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, to see if anybody actually wanted one.
Right.
Because
That
when
it seems like that would be an important thing to think about before you produce a car. I mean, I don't know. Do some market research. Hey.
you would think because I'm pretty sure it's not cheap
No,
to
no.
design it and then build it. Um,
But research and development is one of the biggest costs.
yeah, and then to have it turn out as like a giant flop. I
Yeah.
because I can remember when I was at the Acura dealership and we had the ZDXs and nobody, I mean nobody was buying them. And
So you had to pay them to take it off your lot.
pretty much, and Acura was a little bit embarrassed about that. and so that they could report them as being sold, they told every dealer, take your ZDXs and put them in service loaner fleet, so that people would, A, we can report them as sold, and B, people would actually have to drive them because you gave them out as a service loaner. And even that didn't really help.
But, no one likes the station wagon, but if you raise it up 5 inches off the ground, I don't know. That was the magic number, right? And all of a sudden, everyone just is in love with a raised station wagon.
Well, I know I am.
Yes.
Well, Phil, believe it or not, we filled over a half an hour today.
Oh my gosh, we did. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Zach won't be here again tomorrow, and I believe it's you and I again, Phil.
It's us again tomorrow.
Okay, well, it's the good, the bad, and I'll be the part of the ugly. Hey, we want to thank everybody for being here today, and special shout out to Phil for filling in for Zach. We'll be back here again tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, for more news that you can use from YAA. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you, Phil.
Yep, thank you, guys. See you, everybody.